Hi guys, happy Witchy Wednesday. Alright, so for Witchy Wednesday, I just kind of wanted to do a little bit of Hekate. Yeah, just a little bit on Hekate. So, we have an amazing article again from the Mystica, themystica.com. This is where all this information is coming from. I do not own it. It is just amazing information that I wish to share with everybody. Okay, anyways, if I can talk. Now, Hekate, we all know in Greek mythology, was a powerful goddess representing the three aspects of the great goddess, or the triple goddess. So the three aspects, three phases of a witch's life. The triple moon, anything triple is her. So, she's the goddess of fertility and of plenty, so goddess of the moon and goddess of the night, ghosts and shades, so which led her evolving as the patroness of magic and witchcraft. So her powerful position was derived from the Egyptian midwife goddess Hekate or Hekate, who in turn evolved from the Hek or tribal matriarch of pre-dynastic Egypt. So Hekate was originated in Egypt. She came from that goddess. Hekate. So now, who was a wise woman in command of all of the mother's words of power. So, yeah. In her moon goddess aspect, she is often part of the trinity with Selene and Diana/Artemis. I like that. I really like that. That she is, pre-dynastic Egypt. It's pretty amazing. That's pretty far freaking back. I mean, wow. So the goddess possesses infernal powers, nocturnally roaming the earth with a pack of red-eyed hellhounds, and those hellhounds will end an entourage of dead souls. So hellhounds, Cerberus, the dog with the three heads that guards the gates of the underworld, Hades, hell, not the Christian hell, not at all. So, where do I go? She's only visible to dogs, and if the dogs are traveling at night, it means Hekate is out and about. She causes nightmares and insanity, and was so threatening to the ancient people that she was called the Nameless One. That's funny because it's never happened to me, so I don't know why people are afraid. But I always treat it with respect and just with the utmost of, just plain respect. So, that's kind of scary. Kind of reminds me of Panic Attack. I'm getting panicky now. But anyway, where'd I go? So, the Hellenes emphasized her crone aspect, but continued to worship her at places where three roads connected, so especially in rites of magic, divination, and consulting with the dead. Her images guard three-way crossroads for many centuries, thus she was Hekate Trevia, Hekate of the Three Ways. Offerings, particularly on nights of the full moon, were left at the roadside shrines built in her honor. That would be beautiful to see a roadside shrine for Hekate. I would love it. Alright, so, where'd I go? I lost my place again. I lost my place. Where'd I go? That hurt. Oh, especially by those wishing this goddess of prophecy and magic to assist them on journeys. So she is powerful. I love her. Alright, so throughout the ages, incarnations have been chanted to her. Incarnations? Wouldn't it be incantations? Anyways, have been chanted to her. Sacrifices were offered to her. In ancient times, people sought to appease her by leaving chicken hearts and honey cakes outside of their doors. Okay, honey cakes, that's good with me. I know she likes honey. So, on the last day of the month, offerings of honey, onions, fish, and eggs were left at the crossroads, along with sacrifices of puppies. Oh, puppies. No. Infant girls and she-lambs. Oh, the lambs and the puppies. No. Sorcerers gathered at the crossroads to pay homage to her, and such infernal servants as the Empusa, a hobgoblin. Okay. Why are there so many fucking Easter eggs and synchronicities? A hobgoblin? Where do you guys know of a hobgoblin from? Seriously. So this is really weird. Empusa, a hobgoblin. The Circosis, a poltergeist. And the Mormo, a ghoul. one petition for her patronage is recorded in the 3rd century by Hippoclitus in Philos Fuena, whatever. So, come, infernal, terrestrial, and heavenly Hekate, goddess of the broad roadways of the crossroad, thou who goest to and fro at night, torch in hand, enemy of the day, friend and lover of darkness, thou who dost rejoice when the bitches were howling and warm blood is spilled, thou who art walking amid the phantom and the place of tombs, thou whose thirst is blood, thou who dost strike chill and fear in mortal hearts, Gorgo, Mormo, moon of 1,000 forms, cast a propitious eye on our sacrifice. That's really interesting. The hobgoblin. Alright. I don't know. The hobgoblin. I think that's really cool. But, alright, so. Now, also, from the goddess Hecate derived her heavenly midwifery ability. So, Hecate amalgamated the 7 Hathos of the birth chamber, since she delivered the sun god every morning. Alright, now Hecate's totem was the frog, which symbolized the fetus. Hellenic writers described Hecate as being in the house of women in childbirth. Therefore, since Hecate was at times represented by Artemis, it is no wonder, that the latter was able to help in the delivery of her twin brother Apollo, and was petitioned for help by women having difficulty in childbearing. I like this. I like this a lot. In modern witchcraft, Hecate is thought to reign over the waning and dark moon, the 2 weeks considered best for magic dealing with banishing, releasing, planning, and introspection. So today, new moon, her moon. But I see her, in all moon phases, in everything, in triples, all, trinities, all of it. The hobgoblin, that is so weird. That is really weird that this popped up a hobgoblin. So, I can't get to hobgoblin, but I wonder if I could search for it on here. I don't know, but this is just really, really amazing. This is seriously some really amazing information. I don't know if I can find anything about a hobgoblin. I don't even know if there's a search part for this. Huh. That seriously is amazing, though. The hobgoblin. There are way too many connections here, Easter eggs. It's crazy. Okay, so let's see. Let's see the crossroads. Yeah, very, very obviously. So, crossroads. A crossroad is a symbolic term denoting the union and joining of paths. So the association of the crossroads of witchcraft goes back to the ancient Greek and Roman times. Classically, the crossroad symbolizes a joining of 3 roads and the balance of opposites in the meeting time of time and space. I love it. I love it. I love my crossroads. I live on one. Literally. It's great. It's interesting. It's very interesting. So, where'd I go? Alright, in the Aegean Mediterranean region, crossroads were sacred to Hecate, obviously. Triformis and Diana. Ovid, an ancient Roman writer, speaks of Hecate as having 3 faces, which to guard the crossroads as they branched out. So Varro, another ancient writer, equated Diana with Hecate and stated the images of Diana were stationed at the crossroads. So now other writers of that period called this goddess Artemis Hecate and attributed the mother goddess aspect to her. I like that. The crossroads are likewise associated with the ancestral spirits called Lassa, or Lares. These beings were originally thought to be spirits of the forests and meadows, the fairy folk, and the spirits of nature. So with development, these spirits become associated with the cultivated fields, and eventually the Lara became protectors of the family and home, and was associated with the hearth. That would be your hearth spirit in traditional witchcraft. So also in the archaic Roman religion, small towers were constructed at crossroads, and an altar was placed before them upon which offerings were laid. So that would be amazing to see all of these ancient, shrines and just crossroads and, columns and things. For Hecate, even the towers. That'd be really, really neat. Alright, where'd I go? Okay, so such towers were associated with nature, spirit worship, and democration. So possibly this may be the foundation of the concept of the watchtowers within modern witchcraft. Could be. Maybe. We don't know. Alright. So, since classical times, the crossroad has been a favored place for witches to gather because of its link to nature spirits and the moon goddess. When the symbolic crossroads were Christianized, they became symbols of dread. Crossroads became the construction sites for gallows and suspended gages that contained bodies of criminals, also suicide victims, who were not permitted in burial in hallowed churchyards, were frequently buried near a crossroad. Okay, so then too, the Judaic Christian devil was considered to hover near crossroads, whatever, yeah. All of this, of course, helped to defile the sacred grounds where witches gathered. That's kind of funny. That's really kind of actually funny. So, there is a crossroad down here at Salem Cemetery. Salem Cemetery does have a crossroad. And there's a ton of burials. So I just wonder, were those people, I mean, some of them that lived in this house are down there. And that dates back to like the 1800s. That's really kind of weird. So, I mean, I like this. The spirit's called Lhasa or Lares. We gotta look that up now. So the Lares, wow, we got a big article on the Lares. I love it. Now we have the ancestral spirits. Okay, so yes, Lares are ancestral spirits that protect and preserve family lines and family knowledge. So this is very big in Italy. So that's part of me. I am part Italian. I'm more Hungarian, Romanian than I am Italian. Thank the goddess. So yeah, this is kind of in the Italian witchcraft. So strega. The Strega witches. So, alright, the Lares, Lares. So the Lares serve as bridges connecting to the past and to the present. Now, in homes of Italian witches, Lares shrines were usually placed in the east or west quarters. Traditionally, Lares are associated with the hearth, so witches usually place them on a mantle near the hearth. So that is, yes, your hearth spirit, the protector of your home. And yeah, I have mine actually northeast, so yeah. I've got my little Seri Lares, the representations over there in the east where they should be. Alright, now, where'd I go? Where did I go? Oh, now in the ancient Roman religion, Lares were worshipped at crossroads where small towers were built to honor them and offerings were left on them on altars. So, they were originally spirits of the fields. With the development of agricultural knowledge, they became associated with plots of farmland. So that is why, obviously why I am so connected to nature spirits, the fairy folk, and whatever you can find at a crossroads. It's crazy. This place is just one giant spiritual portal, highway, whatever it is. It really is. It gets a little crazy around here sometimes. A lot crazy. So, they now guard specific places, and the towers erected for them were their watchtowers. So because of their association with planting, Lares were also connected to the seasons and time itself. So the divine protection of places was as significant to the ancient Romans as the protection of time and seasons. The Roman god Janus, from which is derived the name of month January, stood at the threshold of all these things, and was associated with the Lares by this relationship. So he was also the god of doorways, and the Lares were spirits of the hearth and protectors of the home. Also, by being spirits of the season and time, they were considered ancestral spirits that connected to the past, present, and future together through preservation of linkage. Yeah, the between. Lots of stuff is literally in between, the between. So, alright, the Lares gradually acquired other protective duties and became Peynades, spirits protecting the food supply within the home. So the modern word pantry is derived from Peynades, which are spirits that protect the food in the home. So it is important to add that the Lares were not discriminate in protecting all members of a Roman household. be they free or slave, blood-related or not. This proved to be beneficial to the lower furry class and the slave class who found shelter within their Lares cult. So among modern Italian witches, non-Italians are adopted into the clan through the Lares and thereby become full members of the tradition in all regards. The Strega witches. So as a result of the earliest connection to the fields and the meadows, the Lares also have a relationship with Faunus, Sylvanus, and other rustic gods. With the development of agriculture, the Lares became linked to the seed, which resulted in the establishment of a connection with buried flesh. In their notions with death, the ancient Romans were more concerned with the disappearance from this world than entry into the next. Ugh, that's terrible. The Romans viewed death as the defilement of the person, and this defilement should be removed with the performance of certain rites. So specifically, this is required in the sacrifice of a sow to Circe, a sacred meal eaten at the burial site and a ritual cleansing of the home of the departed. From this evolved modern customs of serving a wake meal and sending flowers to the home of the deceased. So the ancient Roman religion taught the divine force survived the departed individual. If the departed was male, this force was called his genius spirit, and if the departed was female, it was called her Juno spirit. So the genius spirit of the father of a family was personalized in art, which linked him to ancestral spirit. So the portrait introduced the genius spirit to each new generation. On the center of the Lares shrine was a painting of the father, flanked on both sides by a Lares spirit. So the female Juno spirit was never depicted in art, but was connected with the hearth, the goddess Vesta, of whom the Romans never made a statue, represented the female Juno spirit. So Vesta was the spirit of the fire in the hearth, the wife of the home who was responsible for keeping the fire alive. So, just as the Vestal virgins kept the eternal flame alive in the temple of Vesta. I like this. I love this, actually. Now, the wife received the Juno spirit on the day of her marriage when it was passed to her beneath her veil by the priest of Jupiter and Juno, which she possessed as she performed the duties of the household. So, though not known to many, this custom is present today. It is connected with the popularity of June weddings, as June is the sacred month of Juno. I love it. So the woman's Juno gave her fertility and helped her in childbirth. Every woman had her Juno, as every man had his genius. So sharing in all aspects of their life. That's really amazing. That is honestly really amazing. I love it. So, it became customary in the ancient Roman religion to present offerings at both the hearth and the Lares shrines. Such customs were inherited from the Etruscans, who left offerings for spirits of the dead known as manes, so spirits that continued living on either in or near their tombs and had to be fed. So when these spirits were satisfied because they were favorable toward the living, but when neglected they suffered and could not be very vengeful. They could be very revengeful to the living, which they became lemures. So such customs gradually evolved into placing offerings such as spelt grain or cakes at the Lares shrines. So these shrines were depicted as a serpent on a base. It was also believed ancestral spirits came as serpents to retrieve offerings left on the hearth. Funny, I just seen that snake the other day, that little baby gardener snake. It was so cute. It was so cute, you guys. I had to look at it and ask him if he was the evil snake of the garden. Yeah, he said no. He was cute. Alright. I like this. This is very interesting. So because of the great reference paid to the ancestral spirits of the particular household, the Lares shrine was taken with the family whenever it moved to a new residence. So, that's interesting. That is really interesting. The hobgoblin. So what do you guys know about hobgoblins? Anything? I don't. I don't know what a hobgoblin is. Oops, I need to be charging my phone. Why am I not charging my phone? I have a doctor's appointment on the phone. So yeah, the hobgoblin part, that is just, I want to know more. I want to know more about a hobgoblin. I want to see a hobgoblin. I know we have hobgoblins like in Sabrina, and this is just really weird that it's just everything is connecting. So Easter eggs for everybody wondering. So what do you guys think of all these synchronicities connecting to this friggin' TV series? It's crazy, it's fun, it's neat. So, but alright guys. That's pretty much it for today. So, happy Witchy Wednesday. I love you all. Happy new moon. And yeah, I hope you all stay safe, healthy, happy, joyous, and I love you all. With all my heart. All the way from Venus. As always. All the way back down. Alright guys, I love you all. I feel just like a bubble-headed bleach blonde bitch today. But yeah, I do. I love you guys. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.